Hi, my name is Lisa Rose from the Midwives of North Ceredigion. This is just a short video to discuss about bathing a baby and the technique of bathing a baby. So as you can see, I've got my lovely bunny baby George here, my lovely yellow baby bath and two towels. And George has his nappy on at the moment because if you're a sensible parent, you'll keep your baby's nappy on at the beginning and you'll all soon find out why. So what we like to do first is we want to make sure that we have a safe area to bath your baby, not on a high table like I am demonstrating right now. So a nice safe area where your baby can't potentially fall off. Never leave your baby unattended near water or on a high surface at any point for obvious reasons. The bath you want to be filling up with warm water, not cold, not hot. The way that you can check the temperature of your bath is using your wrist or your elbow. So if you put your elbow or your wrist in and you instantly think it's a bit warm, it's too warm. And if you feel like it's a bit cold, it's too cold. So trust your instinct a lot when you're filling up the bath. We advise on just using plain water for the first few baby baths because their skin is so sensitive and they don't really need baby bath products. But if you are going to use any baby bath products on your baby at any point in the first few weeks of life, then we advise on a pH neutral bath wash. So that's Childs Farms or Aveeno if you feel like you need to use something. Try and stay away from harsher products, even if they say that they're specifically for baby. So yeah, so you have your bath full of water or half full of water, warm water. You've checked the temperature, you've made sure it's okay. So we do a top and tailing sort of method when we first bath our babies. You'll have your baby, it's sometimes advisable to have some cotton wool balls as well, some cotton wool balls on the side to be able to get into places like round their ears. Keep your baby nice and warm. When they're newborn and they're in the first couple of weeks of life, they find it difficult to regulate their temperature, so sometimes they can get cold really quick. So a nice, clean, warm, dry towel, wrap your baby round in that towel, keeping the nappy on at first because we're going to do the top of the baby's head first, so you don't want your baby having an accident on you. Hold your baby quite firm up against your body, supporting the weight of the baby and the weight of the baby's head in your hand. It's always good to have a sort of Y shape on your hand around the back of the baby's head so that the baby's head isn't going to flop back at any point. So keep your baby close to you. So I generally advise my mums when we're doing it is to do the face first, and that's where these cotton wool balls will come in handy. So you pick up a couple of cotton wool balls, dip them into the water. Just grab some cotton wool balls here just to sort of demonstrate. You would dip them into the water so they're nice and wet, squeeze a bit of the water out so you're not just splashing your baby in the face, a bit of the water out, and then we'll start with the eyes. So it's really important when you're cleaning a baby's face, if you're going near the eyes, that you're gentle, you don't press down too firm, and that you start from the inside of the baby's eye and you sweep out towards the outside. Babies quite often get sticky eyes because their tear ducts are not quite developed straight away, so it's very normal for them to get sticky eyes. However, if you wipe inwards or you go from one eye to the next, you can sometimes transfer that stickiness, which can then lead on to an infection. So fresh cotton wool ball every eye, inside of the eye, out, and throw that cotton wool ball away, and then another one inside of the eye, out. Obviously if you have any stubborn sleep or anything, then fresh cotton wool ball again and try again. When you've done the eyes, the next best thing to do is fresh cotton wool ball and around the back of the ears, because that's where sometimes milk can collect and go a bit sticky. So you wet the cotton wool and you clean it around each of the baby's ears, and then under the chin and under the neck, because once again that's where milk can dribble down and sort of collect, under the chin. And then generally that's the main points on the face. So you've gone around the eyes, around the ears and under the chin. If there's obviously any dry milk anywhere else, then you can use a bit of cotton wool just to gently clean away. Next, we're doing the baby's hair. So the next thing to do, keeping your baby close to you and supporting your baby's body and the head obviously, you're going to bring your baby down towards the water, and with your free hand you're going to scoop the water and just gently pour it over the baby's hair. By doing this several times, if there's any sort of dry gunk or blood in the baby's hair, you can help loosen that and get rid of it. And if it's quite persistent, you can sometimes use a bit of cotton wool and just very gently, no high pressure, just wipe away where there's any sort of persistent dried blood or gunk on the baby's hair. Once you've cleaned the baby's hair and you've got round the back, then it's important that you dry the baby's head well, because babies, they lose a lot of their heat through their head. So when they're going to get cold, they're going to get cold with a wet head. So once you've cleaned around the head and you're quite happy that you've got everything out, you then use your other towel. This is why I have 2 towels. You then use your other towel to dry off the baby's head. And this is where they generally have a nice fluffy little bit of hair. It's quite cute. So that's the head done. The baby's head is nice and clean. They don't take a lot to get clean. Babies don't get that messy. So that's the top of the head done. So the next thing to do is to lay your baby down, unwrap them from the warm towel and take off their nappy. So then most boys will generally have a little accident on you. Take off their nappy, and then you're going to pick them up by supporting their back and the weight of their bum, and you're going to gently place them down into the water. Always support their upper back so that their head remains out of the water. They obviously won't have the strength or the power to keep themselves up at any point, so it's really important that you keep a good firm hand across their back and supporting the head at the same time. Always hold them in place. Babies can be quite slippy, they can sometimes fall all over the place. Always hold them in place, and then it gives you this free hand to bring the water around and wash round by the baby. This is sometimes good to get some cotton wool and go under the creases, under the arms, down in the crease of the legs, anywhere where you think dirt or milk might have collected. Once you've done around the front, it's very quick and very basic for their first few washes. Once you've done around the front, you're then going to relax them, pick them up and bring them forward, and then you're going to support across the front of their chest. So generally, I would hold my baby with the weight supported against my arm, and you've got the baby's head resting in this Y shape of your arm, so you're not putting too much pressure on the baby's throat, but you're just supporting that head and the weight of the body with this hand. Most babies would just kind of sit there, and it gives you this hand free then to bring the water up and just rub down their back and make sure their back is nice and clean. The principles of a baby bath is that you have it done quite quickly. You don't let a newborn baby rest in the water for a long time because of their temperature dropping. So once they're clean, you bring them out onto a nice dry warm towel. You dry them down quite quickly so that they're not going to lose their temperature, and then you use the second towel to wrap them up, pop a clean nappy on them and go and have some lovely skin to skin.